they find that turtle.
That's exactly what they have to do, right? RQ, if they can grab a kill, great, but if you can at least get those objectives where you start getting that favor in your advantage, allow yourself to allow Skylar, hell, even Clay, to come online faster this game. That's best case scenario. Let's see how this all goes. Items being picked up here, Wolf.
We didn't say that RQ Hoshi needed to control that second turtle. They have to take it. We put a lot of emphasis in that, and that's exactly what they did. That's why now they have equalized. They now have the advantage. And this is off of Vin's usage of the ultimate as well as Clay. The angle that he utilized, the real-world manipulation, put Sanford in a very bad spot because Sanford had to use the wild charge. Shuli was able to attack Clay, but of course Clay will now be stunned up. His ultimate will now be cancelled instead. And as a result, you have Echo not having a frontliner already, with him being taken out by Arnoshi.
This is a difficult thing for Sanji to decide, right? When you're running this Valentina, you got three options across the view, right? You take the time journey, the real-world manipulation, or maybe even that Black Dragon form. You can see RQ, knowing this minor advantage they built themselves, they're going to keep pressing the issue here. Now they have one turret down as well. They can work around with that space, but still, this also allows Skylar to continue to farm up with somewhat of a safety measure. And if Vin continues to protect Skylar, this is the best thing that can happen for him right now in this portion of the game.
I think for the most part of it, right? Bottom side, R7's got to be careful here. If he jumps on forward, Benny QT is going to kill him. So now they're dividing and conquering. 3 on top side, 2 on bottom. Sanford finds an angle for a flicker wild charge, which almost resulted into a kill. R7 is still alive. Black Dragon wants to get on out of there as Tier 1 falls. Tier 2
Let's go.
next to the drop.
I was just about to say, there was a lot of focus on RQ up top lane. If R7 keeps himself alive and defend the turret on down bottom, that will be a favorable trade for RQ Hoshi. And boy, oh boy, R7, he did not fail us. Even with the flicker usage coming out from Echo, he's able to get out of there.
Yep, but with real-world manipulation
Only
already
supporting. I'm gonna go for the Echo, bro.
Go over to RRQ Hoshi, now developing a lead for themselves. Is this the momentum? Is this the turnaround? Clay ends up dying to Benny QT already. Sanford with the power nature fights the wild charge. No, instantly uses his ult to get him out of there, but it's timed out, and now he's getting kicked back by the woods. By the way, the
I don't know, but let's see.
Secure the kill, but RTC is able to get the trade. Yowie's the next, should be the next.
Skylar is in, but Skylar doesn't have mana. He flicker in, but he doesn't Javi was out of the lane. Let's go.
That is a disaster there for RQ. I mean, they found a couple setups and everything else, but they couldn't capitalize to make it even further in their favor, Wolf.
Oh, very scrappy fight from both teams you saw. However, Benedict did not scrappy himself, finding Clay even after the flicker. Because of the fact that Clay kind of reacted a split second later than he should, he was taken out by the projectiles coming out from Benedict. Eventually, Cartesi wanted to go for Vin. Yeah, surely they did for some time journey as well as the flicker.
Hilda is a direct counter to Kyrie, bro. I mean,
Cartesi dying twice already in this game. That's not good for Echo.
Like Albert, you know, jungle.
Skylar as well.
Yeah, picking up right there. That moment before he popped that corner bar memory, he picked up the Malefic Roar. You can see it, right? Skylar's in a comfortable position now. Has the items that he needs on this Brody, can continue to put pressure wherever he decides to be. You see Vin and Clay parking themselves a lot of times around him, because if anyone gets trapped in that death box, it's going to be tough for them to deal with. But still at this point, RQ now a little bit of a comfortable lead to work with. Can they transition to this into a first Lord pickup?
Oh, they should. It's imperative for the side of RRQ.
Look at
the
Yavi,
man. Care of that Lord again. Echo does have good scaling, but RRQ
there was no current. That's why I didn't.
You can see and feel Skylar now with his power spike at 9 minutes in. It's the big
1.5k gold rate in 9 minutes.
The weapon master Brody is gonna pack up a punch. It's something that RRQ is utilizing right
now.
One
go down, and there's a full check. Goes down the Yaoi.
He gets that. No way he gets that. But now, with no shattered memories here, Altezi may have a little bit of difficulty getting on in. Has been forced to flicker on out of here as Sanford is able to get some good damage for the time being. But that's going to be Lord. Time journey already being used, but instantly dying over to Saji. And Saji ends up getting traded back. Skylar gets kicked, and now with him dead, his opportunity to keep on going forward. He doesn't care anymore. But Albert is running
very low.
crazy. They fight it a 3 for 2. Trade in favor of RRQ.
How did Skylar survive that? What a play there. And also a misstep by Echo. They couldn't capitalize on that kill. Benny Cutie was out of that fight. And now it's RRQ driving down with his momentum.
Well, the way that he survived there was great. And he didn't panic. Also, I would like to credit, he dodged the Guardian's Barrier. This is high-end Rock with a lot of like attack items. That's why even the Guardian's Barrier would have taken him off. Instead of like fully backing down, he actually
Put airpiece, not your charging. Its airpiece is on.
stopped for a bit so that he will not be hit by the Guardian's Barrier materializing in front of him. Skylar is cracked.
Oh, they're going so far right now with the momentum. Calteezy getting a good kick onto Diggy so far, but here comes the Black Dragon forward to zone them off. Calteezy is stuck, he's trapped, he's dead! And now the rest of the team is going to be hitting onto the inhibitor. The Lord is already down, but the real world
I don't know why they picked for the two jungle.
To get his team out of there. RRQ have got what they want, and now they back off.
And now it's RRQ's time to play with this momentum in their favor, and they're doing exactly that. Wolf, what did this last couple minutes here transition? It's only 11 minutes into the game. How's it looking for RRQ?
Oh, dude, definitely looking good for RRQ. This is their power spike, as we talked about. But then again, we also look at the other components of their composition. With a Divine Glaive available for the Eve, who opted to go for the penetration boost this time, Clay will be hurting a lot of Echo. Despite it, like, you're looking at the real-world manipulation, you don't really look at the damage that it outputs, but with all of the items that Clay was able to get, he is now going to be a threat. Look at that, though. Queen swings coming up from R7.
And at the same time, you know, as we get ready for this next pretty much push, or maybe it's the next Lord here, what does Echo have to do to get back into this game, Wolf? I mean, they're down 5,000 gold. They've only got 2 turrets. RRQ owns their side of the map.
Well, they have to find a way to kick R7, or Skylar, I mean, into their favor. They have the damage of Benecute already. They have the items that they needed. But the fact of the matter is they are not finding good jumps onto Skylar.
I don't think it's that easy as well. Like,
It's
a lot of
not.
it really just comes down to Calteezy and Sanford. They're the only people who can really do it. And even Sanji, whatever he takes, he's going to get punished. Like, the Black Dragon form seems like a good idea, but considering how far ahead RRQ is right now, it's, disgusting.
The biggest thing that was just picked up here by Benny Cutie is that Wind of Nature. You mentioned it earlier, Gideon. It's a strong item, right? And that can actually turn the tide of these team fights if they're able to allow Benny Cutie to stay alive. Conceal play coming out, but they're just kind of scouting around here. They know that they don't have much vision.
Wow.
You can hear the roar, by the way.
Vince Diggy does have like Divine Glaive. And with just 2 time bombs, he's able to put Calteezy down to 80% HP. That's a tank. This guy's the time bombs. They hurt.
They really hurt. It's
Look at
shocking.
that.
Wait, is this an engagement where you see? Oh, Sanford, he had an opportunity. Really good Guardian's Barrier, but no follow-up so far. Calteezy trying to get into the Lord pit right now.
Look at
R7 begins it.
All right.
RRQ, they secure the Lord, but now the fight has already begun. The Black Dragon form side has to steal the real world manipulation. They're tied for Benny Cutie. Winds of Nature's ain't going to protect them long enough as the rest of RRQ chase them down. 5-1, 5-2. It's Albert. 4 for nothing in favor of RRQ. Sanji, just hide. Don't show yourself. He's out of here. Skylar almost dying, torn apart. Memories hit. And Albert, he wants it. Give it to him. Give it to him, Sanji. 1 HP. He heals back up just in time.
Man, Albert wanted that kill, man. He was going in deep, but still, it's a push from RRQ.
And now the real one manipulation is out to clear the way. Sanford tries his best. No, he gets pulled back. And now the Lord is in. Calteezy tries his best. Skylar puts the final nail in the coffin of this game. GG, well played. Over for RRQ.
Why they win? I guess I didn't watch the graph more of it.
Series on our hands is 1-1.
I guess they give 2 jungle because they pick Diggy now. If that was too wrong, then Diggy will counter that too heavily, and Chu will be useless with all the flicker and with all the flickers in. That's why they decided to go 2 jungle like that. Otherwise, if the two went in the
Diggy was a problem this
time.
time. You see the time turning usage in the turtle
Diggy
number
would
2
just
allow for them
ultimate and
to
then-
just hold their ground and
Yeah,
win the
every
turtle
time he
fight.
out-
Eventually,
he
the
out.
latter portions in the mid-game, Divine Glaive and Enchanted Talisman
That's
with
what-
an Impure Rage Diggy. That time
That's what
bomb.
Blacklist did
We
against
call it the Bumps Bunny. In the
Echo.
Philippines, they hurt.
They either
Bombs
pick
money, and also he
Diggy.
had what, Impure Rage, right?
They
That's
won't
right.
open
Using
the
that so he could
they
just
will
keep
open the
spamming
tube,
them,
but then they will
basically,
put the
right?
tube.
Whether it was for
Diggy.
vision or damage,
So
and
it's
it
useless.
just
Two
whittled
is
down
useless against
Echo.
Diggy.
And they really didn't have an opportunity to even get in line, right? And we were wondering too. Now the big
As a
question, and
roamer,
I can't
it's
wait to hear
useless.
what the analysts have to
But
say.
not as a fighter or
this
as a
Yuzong pick,
jungler.
man,
Not that
it is
useless.
strong for whichever teams decide to take it. And also
But
Brody
it's
actually
1 for
having a
1.
great game here. This time for Skylar, working out really well for him, able to just kind of pop off exactly what they needed to do here. Check it out, right? That is going to be the celebration because strong game. It's payback time for the Kings as they secure game 2.
I think RRQ has really, kind of cleaned up their gameplay a little bit. Their laning phase is a little bit better. Everybody is kind of on the same page of what the plan was supposed to be. And overall, I would have imagined that, R7 was probably going to make those aggressive moves again. No, this time a little bit more reserved, a little bit more calm and collected. But this does show the beauty and, more importantly, just the power of a Petrify. Even if you're locking somebody down for at least 0.5
Ego's
seconds,
first pick
the rest of your
wasn't
team,
even
especially
good.
when Albert's
Why too
jumping
high,
through.
bro?
Oh my goodness. You just
Let
lose
me
track
check
of
the
him
draft.
so
Okay,
fast.
I haven't checked the draft.
Sanford,
Let's talk about the draft.
First time.
Oh, I feel the heat between these two gentlemen.
the keys to victory. I mean, minimize.
Win coming out from Echo despite them losing a call.
Here, there it is, right?
Taking out standard trademark picks coming in from Echo immediately. The Fredrin just really consistent
Here with the Purifies. I think
To get past.
The glue beast special, but maybe against a team like Echo where you want to take control of the tempo. Maybe you don't go for those passive type of heroes. Maybe we give Clay a
R7 will,
proactive hero in the moment, maybe a
RRQ,
Farsa
most probably
perhaps,
they
or
will,
or a
every
Lu- or
ban they will
Lillian,
ban
right? So that
Fredrin
they can
because
dictate the
it's
tempo
comfort pick
themselves.
for
We'll see.
Kankizi.
So far, the Fredrin, the 1-1, the glue, these three heroes that we said that will be constantly banned in this game. I think you ban out the carry as well. If you're RRQ,
Look at
don't
it,
give
bro. They
Benji
didn't-
that
Yeah.
comfortable hero.
I was gonna say that's what it's looking like, right? You kind of have that decision.
It's a
You
bit
don't-
of a sin.
So this is, I would say, 99% going to be a
Carry.
carry here.
Yeah.
Right. Let's expect it.
It's scary.
carry.
Okay, it's carry.
So this is Eve and Yuzhong. If you're RRQ Hoshi, hopefully they are very comfortable. Well, they are, but they are two great heroes to counter that out.
They ban Kajita because
Called it
Kajita
right
counters
on the dot.
Eve.
Eve and as well as Yuzong here. R7's going to have a lot of work on his hands because, again, it does boil down to whether
And
or
the
not he can
Dragon
actually
counters
catch,
as well,
the
the
QT
Eve.
with the Petrify and then look to go for the
Who's
full
winning,
combination.
right? Right now
Up
it's
and
1
down
by
half
1.
HP maybe, and that would be ideal for the
Checking
rest
on
of
the
the team to
draft.
kind of clean them up. But Winds of Nature is such a powerful item. It's rather frustrating for backline divers to deal with such a simple talent.
They shouldn't have picked the 2 here because the
Top of that,
DG was
Echo
open.
going to get their hands on this Cho pick, which we know does wonders in the hands of Yaoi, but
Now
also
they will
the
pick the
Grok is
Digi.
there. Their quick
See.
response on the other side.
See, Digi
it's
pick.
RRQ
If they don't pick
taking
the
up
Digi here, they
Digi.
could have easily
In the
countered
presence of
with
what?
the 2
Two
as
of
a
the
roamer. But
greatest crowd control
they pick
heroes
Digi
out
as a
there, the
roamer.
Cho
I
and the
mean,
Grok.
they
Pick
pick
up the
Digi as a
Digi and then
roamer,
you're
you know.
fine.
2 is useless against
Does
Digi
it
roam.
look like an RRQ Hoshi hero, though?
They
That's
should
the
have waited
question.
for the 2
Because
roam.
again, they want to be aggressive. Unless they utilize this Digi in an aggressive manner.
I think they absolutely can, and now that they know
They
that
got
Grok
them
is
in a little bit.
probably, he could go, he's most likely going to go to the EXP lane, I would assume at this point.
Chu
but
was
I'm gonna hold
jungle,
my
bro.
breath
Chu
for
was
second, because
as a
based on what
hyper.
we're seeing that's being banned here from RRQ,
Chu was
I
jungle.
wouldn't be too surprised if they do decide
They-
to
they-
ban out
they-
Lilia,
they are
and
like-
really minimize
Chu on
what
Yavi is
Sanji
so
can play.
dangerous, bro.
He might have to just default to the Kagura.
That's right. But then again, for RRQ Hoshi,
Not
but
like
they will have
they,
long response that
even if they
marksman
pick 2 as a
hero
roamer,
will be-
they can't do anything
will
though.
be, diminished
Digi
now.
will
The
simply
Fanny
counter
ban
Digi
late
2
into
ultimate
the
every
game.
time he flickers out.
Surprising. Are we seeing a Claude or maybe a Leslie Van?
Yabi too is good because none of the opponent against
So what's left
them
for
pick Diggy as a roamer now. That's why
unless we see something
Yabi
new,
was
like
just
we did
flicker
in a
out
couple
and then
previous
kicking
days,
out
right, where we
the
saw
marksman,
Melissa,
whatever
Moscow,
mage.
you have
That's
those
how he
options
counters
because,
everybody. But
a lot is banned out
since
here. So
you
really
see
it's
last
up
night
to
Blacklist
what
that
position you want to
Blacklist
allow Skylar
beat
to be
Echo
in, right? When
after,
you have this thing,
like
when you have this Eve,
everybody
you have to
watched
play
the game
around that
against
and
Blacklist
allow your
versus
gold lane
Echo,
to shine,
and they saw how to
especially
beat
across
Echo.
from you as a
That's
carry
why
who has been dominating
they either ban
in
Chu or
terms
they
of
pick
Marston
Diggy
picks,
for the
gold
Chu.
lane picks,
That's
and
why.
you know how much she's going to be shredding those
We're
initiators.
talking about a draft here.
Well, here we go. The next lock-in coming in from RRQ. It's going to be Karina. Okay, I like it. I like it. At least Karina can get on top of the carry. Finally. Okay, they're shaking things up. I was expecting the Barracks too. Hilda
They
as well as the Valentina.
they forced Chu as a
I'm
jungler
surprised
here.
that RRQ didn't pick it for themselves. The Valentina
Even if they go
in particular,
Bharat now,
but nicely done.
Bharat,
I think Echo, this
Diggy
is
will
looking
counter
like a
the
really
Bharat,
solid
so
draft.
yeah.
Is this a
Bharat counter Karina, but
Jungle
Bharat,
most likely.
Diggy will counter
Unless they
Bharat.
decide to flex the...
Cho.
That's how they
But
control.
I think it's a Cho jungle myself.
Oh, okay.
And Karina
We
is
haven't talked
good
about
against
Brody
Kirina.
much.
Any
I would
basic
say that it's
technical.
rather 50-50 in terms of Brody alone, right? You really need to be able to scale up. You really need to be able to get your marks off, and then the torn apart memories.
That's
the
how they
damage
force-
can be great, but still, like what we saw, you could say the same thing about Beatrix last game. Damage can be phenomenal, but if you can't actually get in range, you can't get the targets you need to, that's where it struggles.
I guess for the side of RRQ Hoshi, they now have to play the RRQ show. RRQ
I didn't
Hoshi
watch
where
the
they are
early game.
Very aggressive. Don't let this composition coming out from Echo to build up when it comes to the momentum and the farm. Carry will be a problem in the latter portions of the game. They have to make sure that this Brody Karina duo carry should output the damage in the early to the mid game.
And then this
We're
is
gonna
Dicky
find out
Karina,
just a
Dicky
couple
Magic,
seconds
okay.
as we're loading up here.
This was Dicky Magic.
Again, Echo taking the first blood in the series.
The
Best
poke
of
was
5,
real.
Land of Dawn beckons. And we're jumping into
You can
game
only
number
Diggy, you
2.
only Diggy Magic.
All right,
If-
here we go. Let's see how game 2 is going to present itself
If
here.
you're going
Especially
Karina,
with the way
if
the
you're
lanes
going
could
tank
possibly
as a,
end up
you know,
turning around.
jungler.
I'm
Just
a
a
little
Karina
worried
tank
because
jungler.
again,
That's
it
why
really
he went
depends on
Diggy
where
Magic.
Yawi kind of wants to go. He could technically help out a lane. He could technically instantly look for these invades. But I
If
think
there was no
overall,
Diggy here,
it's
they
better
could
to
have
help
picked
out that
Bharat
lane because
around
Brody
and then
is going to bully Benny QT for majority of this
snowball
game.
the game.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Wolf? I mean, especially with those matchups, even
They will ban
Carlo
Diggy
Tizzi
now.
on this Cho, are they going to get
I
that
haven't
much
watched the game,
value
no.
out of it, or are they going to be relying more so
That's
on
why.
Yawi to just cause havoc?
Karin just
Yeah,
came
I
now.
think that Carl Tizzi is more like a he's gonna be the frontliner. This Cho will not be like a sniping Cho with those flickers because this is a retribution Cho. So you're kind of first in, and then Sanford and Yawi will be the ones to kind of give up. Find the better targets. For example, Yawi can just skip
Woody
the
is
front
also
lines,
good
get to
against
the back lines, find Clay, and pressure those backliners for RQ Hoshi instead of like Cho looking for the better targets.
Up and up outside, R7 might be in a little bit of trouble. Gets full hit by the power of nature called TZ. He's going to hit 4 off of this. R7 might want to get out of there for now, but Albert on the opposite side of the map already just hitting his level 4, just power farming his way. Let's see how Echo is going to respond as Turtle's coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Albert farming quite quickly here, expected with Jungle Emblem.
Yep, and Cartesi instantly making the play off the Clay so far. Forcing out the flicker, but instantly Albert able to respond. Shadow Dance looking so very good. First blood falls into the hands of RRQ.
Great idea coming out from Echo, but unfortunately, RQ are prepared for it. Clay even had a flicker back then, so that's why that play was questionable, kind of questionable for Echo. Surely you will have the damage, but knowing that Eve does have the flicker, it's too much risk.
Ayo, confused block.
Is he still alive here? Skylar might actually get the trade down.
Oh
He
shit, one
survived
put
with
the
just
right.
1 HP. Nicely done. On the opposite side of the map is Echo. Start the turtle, R7, Black Dragon form. Sanford instantly getting the knockoff onto Albert, but it doesn't really matter as the real one manipulation has forced them out.
Whoever
Echo has
gets
got
the
what they
first pick
want.
most
Heads up
probably
on
will
from
lose the
R7.
game,
Is
because
going
there
to
are
turn it
many
around, but no.
opponents.
Way of the Dragon kicking the Black Dragon underneath the turret,
When is final
securing the
happening?
kill,
Final
and
will
making
happen
sure
yesterday.
Sanji's life is
Or tomorrow,
worthwhile.
Oh,
probably.
Sanji with a stolen times
After some
times
weeks.
30.
One, 2 days.
That
How many?
entire turtle
what
fight
day
of
is today,
RRQ
bro? What
Hoshi
day
is
is
based
today?
on the fact that they have to be the ones to stun up Echo. They have what? The Dragon form, they have Eve's control, but that was completely nullified with a stolen Diggy ultimate. And RRQ even lost the retribution battle as KTZ and Sanford just made sure that they
really
sold
OP,
out
bro.
all the time. Turtle fight is what Echo really banks on in the knockout stages.
RQ has to be able to win those turtle fights, to win those even
If they
Lord
pick
fights
Digi
later
first
on
pick
here.
here, no.
And as you even saw a glimpse of the
They
items,
can
you
easily
see
choose
that
jungle.
already
I mean,
Benny
two.
Cutie locking
No,
in
no,
that
Digi
Grosso
was
scythe, going to be
too
trying to
even,
farm
bro.
up. A lot of attention
Digi should
here.
have been
Top
there.
side though.
Well, let's see
Don't
how they're
pick
going to play it
Digi,
out. KTZ might be able to make the play again, but Albert is ready for him this time with 4v4 up on this top side, and Turtle coming up in
Let's play
47
together.
seconds.
Yeah, we'll play
Looks like
Apex
nothing's
later.
going to happen for the time being.
I
Wait,
guess blacklist will win. I waited for the blacklist. Let's see.
Be very tense now.
Everybody's
for
playing
RRQ.
blacklist
We did
because
say
Texas
that
were here.
They need to control the tempo of this game. They have to be the ones to get out of the lane
After
stage
blacklist beating
with
Echo,
the better
they
economy,
watch
but
the
it
game
seems
when
like
they're
Echo with
doing
just one
shit.
turtle fight.
Like,
They now
hoping
are
that
controlling
blacklist
it.
can drop
It's not over though.
against
RQ
Echo.
Hoshi, if they find no pinning, come the second turtle of the game, maybe they can snowball out of that. But otherwise, Echo will just take over the game.
Speaking of snowball,
See, they are not
RRQ
even
ranked
picking
first in
the
damage
army
dealt
semi
permitted?
now.
I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
Imagine.
I wasn't
Kyrie
either,
didn't
but
even
when
pick
we gotta
assassin
look at that
today.
little hexagon graph thing, I mean, you could, in the stats, you can
He
see
picked,
that they
but
love
still
those
then
team
he
fights.
lost.
And even the fact
Even
that
with
the
the Penny
journey they've had up to this point, this matchup with Echo,
Hayabusa.
they've had to go against some of those more aggressive teams on the way, right? And so they've kind of adopted this playstyle for RQ, whether it's that scrappy, aggressive playstyle, or even that utility,
It was
kind
like
of
RQ
objective-based. Now that's the thing, this is the fight for them.
Onyx
And
was like
still, a lot of this focus here
MPL
on these neutral
Indonesia
objectives early on.
final.
Turtle, quite low.
Yep, so low. Real world manipulation is already up. The time journey is spent by both sides. Blackjack performance
the
in
Black
on 7
Dragon.
waiting for the opportunity to jump on in for the Petrify. Finds one instantly comboing with Albert. Shadow Execution is looking so
1-2
very nice
retribution
right now, but
flicker.
KTZ still has his retribution, looking for an opportunity. Reverse time is going to send him back, but it doesn't matter. They find that turtle.
That's exactly what they have to do, right? RQ, if they can grab a kill, great. But if you can at least get those objectives where you start getting that favor in your advantage, allow yourself to allow Skylar, hell, even Clay, to come online faster this game. That's best case scenario. Let's see how this all goes.
Yeah.
Items being picked up here, Wolf.
We did say that RQ Hoshi needed to control that second turtle. They have to take it. We put a lot of emphasis in that, and that's exactly what they did. That's why now.
Last time he was crying and emotional, but right now he is happy. But he said, Acil, good luck. Respect ban.
If you want to ban a player from the opposing team, we don't want that player. Who would that be? Who do you want out?
Kepengen nge-ban playernya siapa sih? Kalau dari Eko bisa kita ban playernya ya? Ada nggak?
Gak usah lah, RRQ lebih jago.
Wah! No need to ban anyone from Eko because RRQ is way stronger.
Now, we want to see how strong you are with your cheer. You're going to lead, and the entire stadium is going to cheer with you. Go ahead.
Viva!
Viva!
RRQ! Jaya, Jaya, Jaya!
All right, we got to get this game started. Casters, let's get it going.
Thank you very much to our host down there, and you can feel the passion, right? So welcome back to the desk. Again, I'm Nice, joined here with Gideon and Wolf, and man, do we have a series ahead of us. And I like that. You know, I don't completely understand Bahasa, right? I only know Makasi.
Look at the crowd, man.
With
Stadium
what
is
was
full,
said there,
bro.
we don't need to ban anybody. I already knew what he was basically
stadium
saying,
is
and that
full.
is just showing how confident they are in their team RRQ.
I think, you know,
And that's
the
not
fans
even
here
a close
are
fan. That's
passionate
all
indeed,
most
but
probably.
This is going to be a very interesting game because
RRQ ka fan, bro.
home turf,
RRQ has
we're
such a
expecting
large
RRQ
fandom,
fans
like,
to
bro.
be with them.
Come on.
I can't imagine what Echo must be feeling with the chants that are literally ringing
Even if they
through my
lose,
earphones.
Yeah, you know, I was able to talk to some of the
bro.
other Filipino
So
players
good,
when,
RRQ.
when they're in the hotel, when they're fighting against RRQ, particularly RRQ, right? And Onyx, well, they're the Indonesian crowd. It really is, you know, no,
So Echo is not just fighting against RRQ. Echo is fighting
you have
against
to condition yourself to not
the
be
whole
affected to that.
people
Surely
there is
if it's
inside.
Like game number one or the first few games that they faced,
Oh,
the Indonesian teams, it wasn't that. It
stadiums.
was very difficult, but they kind of got
The
used to
outdoor
it, so that's
stadium
what
as well.
Echo
There
needs
is
to do.
people.
Well, here's what you guys need to do at
Echoes
home
are
and
fighting
watching
not
right now.
just
The
one
M4 pass is available now.
team, but
Complete
the
all
whole
active
guys
tasks and you'll reach level
are
75 at
stacking
ease
inside the
and
stadium.
for free. Log in now, exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser, Beatrix Stellar Brilliance, and M4 Beatrix figurine are awaiting all of you. Hashtag
I don't think I'll
Mobile
get the
Legends
several
BangBang, hashtag
prime
MOBBM4, and
team.
hashtag Dare to
Fucking
be great.
75,
And again, the
55,
M4 Battle Night goes
57
live
level.
this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards for in-game grabs.
Battle
First
Night
off,
1
complete
to
battle
1.
tasks in-game on January 21st to get a skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like the most.
I
And
think the
aside from
final
that,
will happen
battle
in
bonus
Bet
awaits you on
21.
the same day. Play matches and you'll get the team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available the same day. Save the date, log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the match and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 Championship together, including with your friends. I hope none of you guys missed that at home. You've heard it for what, multiple days now. I am catching up, I know we all are. But let's catch back up to this series. Right now, 1-1 in the series. Things are very crucial. Tensions are high. And I got to ask you, Wolf, initially, too, draft-wise, right? We were talking about it a little bit earlier. The Yuzhong pick, is it going to be prioritized? How devastating that Diggy pick was. I think he had, what, 14 assists? I mean, we're taking a look at the hero recap here. How's it looking, Wolf?
Well, you know, Benny is carry. So was supposed to be one unbeatable.
Benny Skylar.
Win rate. It was now taken out by RQ just because of Skylar's Brody. Well, let's talk about the lane match of these two heroes, right? In the laning stages, both heroes can get away, but it seems like Skylar with the Brody can have a little bit more advantage, especially if there's an additional hero, which is now the Diggy. When we compare the playstyle of Echo and RQ, we know that both teams want to prioritize their heroes, but it seems like RQ are only successful on making Skylar a great marksman, gold laner, if they have another hero, a babysitter. That time, it was the Diggy. So maybe that could be the thing in game number 3.
I'm on differing opinion here. I feel like Echo was playing a little bit more scared than usual because when you see a Diggy, you expect Hilda to go right up in his face, just beat him down and start building up as fast as possible and keep on with that harassment, not necessarily into the lane, but taking out...
Let's go into the draft mode.
It's going to be falling further and further behind, making everybody else's job so much easier. It's like, yeah, you're going to pull me back, but I'm just going to kill you.
I think that's a great point. And at the same time, you know, Diggy is a strong hero pick for a reason. It's simply annoying, right? I mean, you're dealing with all those bombs in the bushes. You're playing Hilda, you're trying to get vision, you're also trying to regenerate in the bushes, but at the same time, you're dying in the bush, right? So, you know, it doesn't really work out for you. And also, the other thing is Sanji just struggled, really, because what ultimates, again, do you take for the best situation when you have 3 great options ahead of you? So, I mean, with all those thoughts here in place, we're going to be jumping into the draft here for game number 3. It's Echo on the blue, RQ on the red. Bands, very similar here, and right away, snapped up like that. There's the carry in the hands of Benny Q. Wants to give it another go.
It's
we've seen this before.
It's the same similar band.
So it's instead. Okay.
To carry again.
They want to make sure that there is no way for
like we're watching the
there
replay
is always
now.
a way for them to tag the backliners. Diggy is still open for RQ Oshi. That might be off our consideration right now. But what I like about both Lapu Lapu and Farsa is that no matter what marksman there is for RQ Oshi, they have ways to reach the backlines, either through gap closing with the Lapu Lapu and a one-shot potential, or through a Farsa. Combine them together, no marksman is safe.
This is going to be an interesting one because, again, this adjustment by making sure that you yourself have an artillery mage means that Sanji, even though he's going to be quote-unquote slower to get into the right position, the extra range that he gets from the Feathered Airstrike could make the difference if we see RQ locking in something like Diggy. But instead, they're going to go for the Beatrix this time around. They're prioritizing having lane control rather than lane dominance.
One thing, too, about Sanji specifically as a player, we know that he loves to pull off those crazy plays with the flicker, right? So with him having this farce in his hand,
open the
you're going to
now.
expect that too. Whereas still, even when you lock in this Eve here, you want to be able to build upon the utility mindset for this match, right? You want to be able to do that. But again, you're complementing it with the Yuzhong pick, which we have said in this series specifically.
Don't bench you, bro.
It's been crucial for a lot of these teams' success.
Yeah, and honestly, if we're talking about success, we have to talk about supports because, again, nobody has revealed their supports and they've just mirrored each other the entire way. I was thinking maybe Karina might get picked up early.
Oh, it was R7.
Just maybe some foreshadowing, but Echo, immediately take it off. I'm expecting another assassin. There could be a chance that even Lolita might get banned off inside of Echo once more, so it denies R2 a way to disengage from fights.
Or maybe a Martis as well, because those are the heroes that Albert really like to play. You kind of want to have a sustained hero here if you're RRQ. Hoshi, surely the Yuzhong will be eventually tanky, but you're gonna have to have a frontline so that both Eve as well as the Matrix will have great positioning. That's also the reason why they ban out the Cho here, because they don't want Yaoi to have a hero that can go to the backlines. There's the Barrett's ban. Are we looking for a Ling pick for RRQ?
Yo, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that RRQ are telling, yo, Cartesi, show up. You have a skin around you. We want an assassin.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at the quote here, and that might be the story, right? Carl Teasy, I think we're the best team. I'm a team player right now, so I don't care about the stats or MVP. I've been there. He's been there, he's done that, right? Carl Teasy on the best jungler for M4. So even though that's the case, oh, good solid last ban, by the way. Ziggy's taking out. There's the Grok.
I mean,
come on, Echo. Give it to him. Give it to your boy.
It's Atlas to go with, okay, are we seeing like Hayabusa or Ling this time? Coming up from Echo.
You come on. I'm so excited here. I can't wait to see Cartesi on an assassin. He showed up big time. He's been there, like the quote says, during M2. If he locks in Lancelot here and wins this game on his own skin, that is just, beautiful.
Oh, no. Okay.
Well, he does, he's kind of like a ninja, right? I mean, a guy, depending on what lore story or skin you lock in, right? So they lock it in. On the other side, though, Albert will be picking up the Hayabusa.
And it's, once again, it's the Dragon Warrior against Tylon once more. I mean, it's frustrating to see because I really wanted to see Cartesi bring it to RRQ in the assassin department against Albert of all people. But yeah, as one says, he's such a team player.
Yeah, I know, he did. He transitioned into that.
On that point, right, that's what makes these teams so scary is because you've had either, a lot of the times it was the junglers carrying teams, right? But teams that either play for their jungler or their jungler plays for their team, that's a big thing here. So this is kind of a different, I guess, for a lot of people that have been following Carl Teasy specifically, they might want him to play assassins, but if this is what he feels like is the best for Echo's success, then that's what's gonna be played, right? So, but is it going to be able to compare against Albert in the jungle on the Hayabusa? We've seen amazing things before, but let's load up into game number 3. It's 1-1 in the series. Who edges ahead here?
Oh man, if you're looking at the choice of Albert, right, going for Hayabusa, surely it's great. Like, we're excited to see that. We want to see Albert being activated as assassin, but man, Atlas, Akai, Lapu Lapu, man, it's difficult to play a squishy hero if you're RQ Hoshi. There's so much control and so much damage.
Okay?
Not only that, but with an Atlas across view, when do you usually see no purifies from the other team?
Yeah,
that could be deadly.
That is a big observation here. Vin already getting stunned up. I'm surprised that Vin doesn't flicker it out just yet, but yes, there we go. He gets out of the tough situation. You know, coming back to that Atlas, I think we've seen many, many times, and in a couple of international competitions last year, that Atlas has really turned over some games in the later stages.
Yeah, definitely. And this time you have what? Heavy spin as well as the Fatal Links. You can like switch between the two. Or what you will use as your first in when it comes to your initiation, right? What do you use first? You can use like heavy spin first so that the Atlas will have a better ultimate afterwards, or maybe use it afterwards. So the Echo composition is really backing on the damage output of both Farsa and Bendicuti, and they have the tools to make that work.
Well, I think on top of that, you know, if you are playing this Atlas, if Clay can find the death box positioning in the right moment at the right time, then you can use that to your advantage, right? You are now forcing Echo wherever they decide to respond and set up with the Fatal Links, then hey, you can go ahead and set up that box and hopefully profit off of that, especially with Grok here for Vin, right? We've seen it before, it can happen, but right now they've got to kind of check those boxes, and with the first turtle of the game coming up, Yaoi's not level 4 yet, so you're going to see this kind of unfold here.
Yep, furious dive coming in from R7. He's right on top of Kaltizi, forcing him to use his ultimate as soon as possible. And even Sanji really high up there with the feathered airstrike. Kaltizi all by himself and R7 will find first blood. And here comes Yaoi getting into the middle of it, finds 3. But Sanji, oh, he gets 1 already. Finn is so low, but they cannot get it. And now R7 with a double kill in the bag.
Oh, great exchange from both teams. Echo starting with Sanford poking the Hayabusa, putting him low, forcing the quad shadow. But then again, Echo was forced to utilize Kaltizi's ultimate far too early. The reset was there for RQ, and then of course damage coming up from Clay's ultimate afterwards. Fortunately for Echo, they have Yaoi's ultimate available there. He got level 4 just in time to pop the flicker and the fatal links onto 3 members of RQ. Then Sanji dealing the damage. In the end though, RQ still gets the turtle.
Wait, does he know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he saw Yaoi actually walk between brush to brush here, but he's going to open it up, sees Vin, backs away. Skylar, once again, just needs to maintain control, but Benny QT has been doing such a good job. He's looking for the trade, and now he might get the solo kill. Almost towards it. One more auto attack would have procced and would have gotten the kill.
Great response from Skylar there, not to go down. They don't want to give that advantage to either of these gold laners, right? They're going to be battling it out here. And we know, again, how scary carry can be, especially if you get those kills, but Yaoi going to be the focus, gets out of here just fine. Still, again, RQ holding on to a very minuscule gold lead, but I mean, objectively, they're where they want to be, right? Yeah. Continue this up, farm up, and just keep responding, putting pressure around the map.
It's kind of not flickering right at the get-go. It allowed him to also force the flicker onto Benikudi. And the reason why he felt very tanky at the end is because of the fact that the outer turret energy shields in the gold lane provide 30% damage reduction. And Skylar forcing another flicker and not dying kind of means that the bottom lane is still equalized.
I'm more surprised you weren't freaking out that Sanji was about to die there. He gets, I mean, overall, Albert is putting quite a bit of pressure, and I would argue is even opening up a map to a certain degree. But let's see down bot side, tier 1, the shields are getting farmed out for the time being, but Echo, as we mentioned before, just wants to focus on the farm.
Yeah, I'm still wondering too, you know, the fact that there is no purifies here for RQ. If they're just going to completely rely on their reaction time, right, to get out of danger or to have that, basically, I like to call it the athletic flicker out of those bad areas, right? Because, yes, if Yaoi holds on to it,
wait, Zephyr! He actually flies clean. He's going to get this kill, but no, the real one manipulation gives him a shield. He ends up dying regardless. Feathered airstrike now putting R7 out of this fight. Black Dragon form in the middle of it. Is he really willing to play with death? Shaw residue already propped, but Sanji flickers forward with Blackline now in trouble. Kaltizi ends up dying. Quad shadow into the shadow kill by Albert. He's still alive. Finn, what can he do? Forced to flicker out of there. 2-for-1 trade in favor of Echo.
Oh man, Echo. That was against Sanford opening up the backlines. Previously, in the first turtle fight, it was against Albert, but this time it was against Clay. Even after the flicker coming out of Clay, we know the one-shot potential coming out from the Lapu Lapu that take out the Eve. Eventually, the follow-up from Yaoi allowed for Echo to win the battle afterwards. Unfortunately, though, Albert was still very good with the retribution.
All right, let's pull this back for a moment here, because I'm trying to figure out where Echo is going to eventually plan their attack on their map. It feels like they're playing defensive, right? Yaoi's opening up the map, but then how does Kaltizi make this play?
Well, I guess that what they are waiting for is to at least equalize when it comes to the turtle fight, then activate Benikudi. So to answer your question, later on, around 8 minutes time, when you can have Benikudi deal the damage with 3 items, that is where you strike. Until this point, Echo, everybody's just buying time.
I'm holding you to that 8 minutes on the dot.
Yeah, we'll see if Wolf predicts that correctly, right? And the curse doesn't affect him here. But still, going back to the point, I mean, if Benikudi can just farm up, great thing, right? That's exactly what he wants to do. Him and Skylar, same scenario, right? None of them have gone down. You see, though, how much of time is actually put on the gold lane for both these teams. You guys mentioned this in the draft. If you can have someone babysit the lane, great. Now, it's a little bit different because Diggy's not constantly there, but still, even Yaoi's paying attention to that lane, trying to give any upper hand possible to their gold laner is the best thing that could happen for both of these teams, because even, yes, there's what, 200 gold there. It really doesn't mean much for RQ, but they have the objectives, right? If they can get this next turtle in about, what, 10 seconds, then that's great for Albert, and the squad can transition into the Lord takes and really set themselves up for success here. Echo, though, knowing all of that, Sanji having 2 kills early on, the burst damage is going to be there. So as long as RRQ can avoid that burst coming out from Echo, Sanford with the setups like this.
Oh, I mean, Sanford, he wants it, but the fact is he's got no ult now, and now Albert might have a free kill in his hands. He's walking up Blackjack Corman as well. Wild charge, doesn't connect, but there we go. Albert secures it. R7 now in some troubles. Cartesi pushes him out of position, and now in a 2v1, R7's lead is just enough, but on the bottom side, almost soul kill. Skylar's bringing him into it, and now Albert